Hey everybody, CVH here, and in today's video we're going to be going over some recent pretty big news for Elder Scrolls Legends. Longtime viewers of the YouTube channel will know that I like to do a quick news video to interrupt the regularly scheduled strategy content every now and then when the news is big enough, mostly for those of you who may just get your news about Legends through this YouTube channel. I know there are a few of you, and I do think today's news qualifies, and it looks like I may have already spoiled it a bit. If you haven't already guessed through the title or the thumbnail, you can see right on screen here, I'm on Steam, and so is Elder Scrolls Legends. A pretty huge surprise. So I'm just going to go over the news really quick if you don't already know. It kind of blew up on Reddit, so I would be surprised if you don't already know, and then ramble a bit as I like to do about my thoughts. But here it is, right here on Steam, Elder Scrolls Legends. You can see some quick little ads. I have this one muted, but there's a nice little ad here that shows some of the gameplay. Very positive reviews already, released May 31st yesterday. They announced it all today. I already reviewed the game. I already have it in my Steam library, as you could probably tell, so you don't have to have the Bethesda launcher anymore. You don't have to use it if you have it right here on Steam, like so many other games that I'm sure you all have played before. And that means you can also play it on Mac now. The Elder Scrolls Legends is now available free to play on PC and Mac operating system, and also Android tablet. So you can download the game from Steam or Google Play. So those of you playing on Android tablet, or not playing on Android tablet but hoping you could, can now download it fully released on Google Play. Those of you who don't like the Bethesda launcher can now download it on Steam. Those of you on Mac can now download it on Steam. Pretty huge news for the game. And this article was written by Scapes, our community manager, the same person who tweeted this. TES Legends has launched and is now available for free on PC, Mac, Steam, iPad, and Android tablet, and that only leaves iPhone and Android phone releases. Of course, everyone's really excited about those phone releases. And it says, looking forward to playing The Elder Scrolls Legends on other devices? You won't be waiting long. The game will be available on mobile phones early this summer, so hopefully we don't have to wait too much longer for the phone releases. So that's pretty much it for the news portion of the video. That's all the information we really have. That said, it's pretty big information, so let's take a little bit of time, like I like to do, and ramble and sort of give my thoughts about what this news might mean. So I should start by saying something I've said a long time. The Steam complaint / the Steam question, whether or not it would ever have Legends on it, it predates the time I actually started playing the game when it first went into open beta in July. Ever since then, I've seen on numerous forums, people have been asking me if it's going to be on Steam. I don't know. And for a while I was sort of dismissive of these complaints and concerns because I never really used Steam before. By the time I downloaded Legends on the Bethesda launcher, I had never even had Steam on my computer. I had never had a reason for it. I've mentioned this numerous times before. If you're a frequent watcher of the channel, you'll know I'm really not a gamer per se, outside of card games. I've pretty much dedicated all portions of my gaming life, you could say, to card games, so I never really had a use for Steam. I did wind up downloading it a few months ago for one of those other card games I tried out, maybe that was Feria or something, but besides that, I didn't really get the hype, to be honest. That said, like anyone, I am an open-minded individual, or at least I try to be, and, through listening to the complaints a little bit more throughout the following months, and, doing my own research and finding out how many games actually were on Steam, I did come to realize that it simply would be better for the game if it were on Steam, but we never really had any concrete information. I think the one official response on Steam was, we can't really talk about that right now, so most people just took that information and assumed that Elder Scrolls Legends would never be on Steam, and we were wrong. And in this case, being wrong is pretty damn awesome, because it does really give the game such more publicity. This was actually on the little front page announcement section of Steam. I'm not super familiar with Steam, but when I logged in to Steam to download it yesterday, it was one of those things going by on the reel, and I have already seen, in about 24 hours since this happened, now that I'm recording this, a lot of new players coming in simply because they saw it on Steam, or simply because they have it on Steam. There are a lot of players or a lot of gamers who don't really play games that aren't on Steam just because it's inconvenient, and there are so many games on Steam. So the fact that it was sort of stranded on the Bethesda launcher was a problem, and it was one that I and many other people in the community had just sort of accepted as something we were going to have to deal with. Of course, a game could survive on the Bethesda launcher. We were just in the sort of the camp where, of course, this game could be bigger if it were on Steam, but we'll just have to live with it. Games should be fine if they market it appropriately, but the surprise of this game going on Steam yesterday is pretty huge, and I think it means pretty good things for the game in general, especially because this is also the long-awaited release of the Mac client. People playing on, or people trying to play on Mac operating systems had to do one of those funky programs that emulate Windows, I guess, And I know from one friend who told me about his experiences with that, it was kind of a hassle, and it led to him not really playing the game too much, even though he's a very avid card game player. After a couple weeks, he just kind of gave up on it. So this is the time for all of those people to also be able to play the game as well. I know personally, my MacBook Pro, my old MacBook from college, is in no condition to be running any card games on it, or any games in general really, but for a lot of people this is pretty big news as well. You can now actually play on your Mac, so I'm really excited about that. Seems like we're really getting all of the different options available, especially with the Android tablet and Google Play as well, the official release of that. I know there was like an APK going around or something like that. I don't really know too much about that stuff, but now we have all of these in official release, and we're only waiting for the phones. Now, personally, I don't much care for gaming on my phone. I don't much care for doing a whole lot of things other than communicating on my phone, to be perfectly honest. I have played Hearthstone and a bit of, I guess, some other games on phones, and I just never really enjoyed the experience compared to playing on my computer. But on the flip side, there are a lot of people who really don't enjoy playing card games unless they're, like, on the go. They treat it as sort of a side thing. So for that matter, it's really important to get, like, that many more players into the game who just want to play it on the go, casually, on the toilet, on the bus, on the car. Yeah, hopefully they're not driving. I don't really ask those kinds of questions, but you know, a lot of people who just casually play card games, and a phone is a wonderful platform to do that on. So while these players may not form the backbone of a competitive Legends scene, they will probably form an important part of the backbone of the player base in general, so hopefully that happens soon. But the Steam thing is huge. It was a surprise. I'm really hoping this means positive things for the game. Obviously, the reviews are positive. I wouldn't really expect anything else. I've been, you know, sort of flaunting how good the gameplay of this game is for a while now, and I'm happy that other people are catching on as well. So what do you think about these updates? Pretty big things. Steam, if you have Steam and you don't like the Bethesda launcher, you've been waiting to play Legends until it was eventually maybe put on Steam, this is your chance. I would recommend doing so right now. As you can see, I've already done so. What do you think about the Mac release? Are you excited you can play it on Mac, Android, Google Play, any of that stuff? When do you think we'll get phones? Obviously, early summer is projected. Do you think we'll get more information about that at E3? Maybe even sort of a surprise launch like the Steam was? I'd love to hear your thoughts about what this means for the future of the game in the comments. Join the conversation. As always, if you've enjoyed this little news video, feel free to leave a like. Consider subscribing to the channel for more of these videos and mostly gameplay content for Legends. Follow me on my stream in the description down below, and I'll see you guys next time.